thank you for being here. Today I am going to take your sock knitting up to the next level. So just bear with me. I'm just going to get a couple of things situated here, some resources that I use, and I've got my notes here so that I don't lead you astray on anything. So yeah, so it just started raining. I got caught in a bit of a rainstorm, and the reason I'm in my greenhouse is because there's too much distraction in the house. So I came in here, and maybe I should have taken my dried yarrow down. I hope it's not a distraction. But anyway, we are here, and what I want to share with you today is how to design socks. So this live video is for those of you who have knit, a few pairs of socks is fine. The more socks you've knit, the better, to get a good feel on what you like for the fit of your socks. So I encourage you, if you're watching this video, to let your friends know, your other sock knitters know about this video, because we are not using needles today, we are not using yarn, we are using books and more stitch dictionaries, and we're going to be using some graph paper. So yeah. Okay, so we will get into it. Darn it, I didn't even bring my coffee out here. Oh well, I just poured a cup of coffee. That's okay. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So my name's Kelly. I started the Let's Knit Socks Facebook group. It'll be 10 years this December. I can't believe it. It was first called Darling 9-inch Circulars in memory of my mother. But after, I think it was about 7 years, 6 or 7 years, I decided to change the name to Let's Knit Socks, because I felt like then it would include a lot more people. And I've had a wonderful time in the group. I've met some great friends. We've never met in person, but we've met online. So that's my sock knitting journey. I've also put a few patterns up on Ravelry of for sock knitting, and yeah, so that's all about me in terms of sock knitting, my journey. So next thing I wanted to tell you was okay, so I'm gonna tell you the requirements for this video, since you're right here right now. Is the requirement is, which I've already said, is that you should have already knit a few pairs of socks. I explained to you the supplies that you need. We already went over that. And the video is going to be broken down into the parts of the sock. So you're going to have your cuff, your leg, your heel flap, heel turn, foot, and your toe. So that's how this video is going to be structured. And I also wanted to tell you that if you are panicking right now because you do not have a stitch dictionary, do not worry. I will share with you a free resource that you can go to whenever you've got some downtime. You've got your you've got your graph paper in front of you, and your mind's going and you're thinking, wonder what I could design today. So I'll share that with you later. So yeah, so keep that in mind as well. And please, what do I want to say? Please stay to the end, because at the end I'm going to have some information for you on where you can download a free PDF that is a companion to this video. So, okay, so make sure you stick around to the end, because that's where I'm gonna give you all the details for that, okay? Hi everybody, hi. And okay, so we will get started. We've got a few of you here right now. So I'm just doing a real brief. I don't like look at my notes and do word for word. It's just bullet form, so I'm just looking here. Okay. So we're going to start. You are going to start designing your first pair of socks. Isn't that exciting? I am so excited for you. Okay. So the cuff, we're going to do a cuff down sock, and we start at the cuff. So having knit a few pairs of socks already, you are going to be familiar with the stitch count that you like. For me, I like a sock that's 64 stitches. For my husband, I like to do a 72 stitch sock. What did I say earlier? Never mind. So I like a 64 stitch sock for myself. So that's what I go to. So first thing you want to think about is, okay, I've got this book here. Now I can't open it because of YouTube. They don't like you showing the inside of a book, but I can open the book, and listed it has, oh my gosh, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 different types of cuffs in this book. Now, have I done all 10? Not at all. Not at all. And I will tell you that my go-to cuffs are a knit 1, purl 1, knit 2, purl 2. I haven't done a knit 3, purl 3. I've done a twisted rib cuff. And anyway, so this book has a lot of resources in it for you if you want to get this book. I'm not affiliated with this at all. Okay, so my go-to for a cuff is 1 by 1, 2 by 2, 3 by 1 is the most common that I use. And you want to yeah, so that's the most common that I like in a sock. I usually do a 2 by 2 rib. That's my go-to. That's my go-to. Okay, so now comes the fun part. So you've casted on your stitches that you know that you like for a sock pattern. You've done the cuff of your sock already. You've picked out a cuff pattern that you like. You know, you've thought about it. Maybe you didn't even have this book, but you just played around and you thought, oh, you know what? I go to my sock drawer. Yeah, go to your sock drawer and look and see what is the cuff on your socks. What do you usually end up knitting? So do a 2 by 2 rib. That's what I would do. But you pick, okay? So now we're going to get into designing the leg of the sock. The leg of the sock is where the pattern is. That's where the pattern is. Like here is a sock that I designed. This is called Feather and Fan. It's a helix feather and fan. This is one of my more advanced patterns. And yeah, so you'll notice too, there's a front panel on here. So we'll get into that a little later. But anyway, this is my Feather and Fan. The other one that I did, which is great for a beginner sock design, is I did cobblestones. And you'll see it's just a basic purl, knit and purl across, just alternating. You see that? So yeah, and this was a lot of fun, Easy. This is easy for to design. So what else? And then I've got this one. This was a prism knit along that we did. So, okay. So we are at the cuff, and you can see that Kelly did a 2 by 2 rib. See there? That's what I did. And I decided I wanted shorties. I didn't want to have a long cuff or a wide cuff, and I didn't want a long leg either. But anyway, and so I did the cuff, okay, and now we're gonna work on the leg, and you get to determine, do you want, you know, a 5-inch leg? Do you want a 1.5 leg? You get to decide. But in terms of designing the pattern, the stitch pattern for the leg, you can go to your stitch dictionary, or you can go to Pinterest. Pinterest has a lot of stitches online that are for free. And what you want to do is, for a beginner sock, and for this sock that I'm going to design with you right here live, is I wanted to find a stitch pattern that was divisible by 2, okay? That really, a multiple of 2, that really helps when you're doing more of a beginner design. You can, you could get into multiples of 12, and then you got to do a little bit tweaking, but that's a little bit more advanced. So we're going to do multiples of 2. Now I'm going to show you, let's see if I can find one here. Okay, so I'm going to have to cover up this. Okay, but here's a pattern right here. See? And it'll say right there, multiples of 2. You see that? So I know that that's going to work in my sock pattern. You've also got some that, let's see if I can find another one. So, okay, here's one more. I'll show you one more. So here, even both of these would actually work. See, multiples of 2, and then that one also, 4, 2. So yeah, so those would work. Those would work. So look through here and find something that you like, that you want to have in the leg of your sock. And the next thing is, okay, so I have this design, let's see if I can find, okay, so I have a design, but how do I get the design from here onto the graph paper? So we're going to do that next, so don't go anywhere, okay? We're going to do that next. So I am going to flip my camera around. I'm going to be holding my camera, and we are going to go to graph paper now. So, okay, hang on 1 second. Okay. See, that's where you were. You were propped up right there. Okay, so we have our graph paper, and we are going to design the leg of our sock. So the first thing you want to do is these squares, big squares, are 10 by 10. So I am going to mark out 64 stitches. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the middle. Okay, I'm just going to put a mark there, and now I'm going to count out 32 stitches on each side, and think of the middle as the top of your instep. Okay, so if I grab this sock here, let's put it so that it's flat this way. Okay, then don't do it upside down. Okay, so here's looking at the instep of the sock. So that line that I just put on the graph paper is right in the middle, it's in the very top of my instep, okay? That's what I want you to think about. Okay, so I've got my marker there, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to count 32 stitches this way and 32 stitches this way. So we're going to go 10, 20, 30, and 2. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to do the same on this side. 10, 20, 30, 2. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go, because you're going to have 32 stitches on your top of your sock and 32 on the bottom, 32 on the bottom of your sock. So we're going to now count 16. So that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, and then here as well. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I know that this is the top of my sock. Okay, I'm left-handed, and this is the bottom of your sock. Okay, now let me just, okay, hang on, 10, yeah, okay, 16 on each side, good. Okay, just count, just making sure. Okay, so you've got that. Now we are going to do, for our design today, we are going to do a 4x4 rib. Okay, this is a very, very simple pattern, but it gets you through all the steps of designing a sock. Okay, and believe me, your wheels are going to start turning after you watch this live video. Okay, so we're going to do a 4x4 rib. So we're at the middle, so we want the pattern to be the same on this side and the same on this side, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to do a purl here. See if I can go like that so you can see better. And then a purl on that side. A purl there and a purl there. So now we have 4 stitches, okay? So now what we're going to do, because we want those to be center, we want the instep, our pattern to be centered at our instep. So now what we're going to do is we're going to count over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to miss 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then here we can go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And you just keep doing that. And this would be the whole leg of your sock. So we'll just keep doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm doing this in pen. I do not advise pen. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So what you'll notice is that this is the back of the leg of your sock, and that's the back. So this is the join. When you go to start your sock, you're starting here, right? And then you go all the way along, and then you end, and you end with 2 purls. So the ends of your leg, the back of your leg is going to match up. You're not going to have a miseven number of stitches at the back. Okay, and so that's what you do. And then for the second round, I would do the same thing. It's just a repeat. Okay, so like this. Whoops. 2. Okay. Okay, so I've got 2. Now I can decide, what do I want to do? Do I want to do a 2x4 pattern? You know, that would be really elongated and narrow. That would be like, you know, rectangles. I could alternate. I could do like, you know, now I could put 4 here like this. Almost made a mistake there. Like that, and then just go along. So that's the fun part of grafting the leg of your sock. And now we're going to move on to the heel of the sock. Okay, let me just flip the camera around here. Okay, oh, I'm glad this worked out. I can do this. I should have brought some water. I don't have any water. Okay, so now we've worked through the cuff, and you have come up with the design for the leg of your sock. And now it's time to do the heel. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, how can I even design a heel? Okay, well, here's the beauty. You don't have to design a heel that you're not familiar with. Okay, so what I did for this sock is I knew that I liked a heel flap and I liked a heel turn. Okay, so now I went to my a knitter's handbook. Okay, and I opened it up, and it came to, let's see if I can show you. Okay, so it comes with heels for top-down socks. So you just look at the heel that you would like, and you follow the instructions, and then you insert that into the pattern. Now, I will tell you, I will explain a few more things. So when you go to do your heel, you're familiar that you put half of your total number of stitches for the heel and then half for the instep. So you would write that in the pattern. Then you would write out how you do the heel flap. So I like to do a slip one, knit one heel flap, and then I do the heel turn. And for the heel turn, you know, I look at the count that I used on a previous pattern, and that works really well. So I advise you to, you know, review what you've already done and then implement that into your pattern, because that's your framework. You already know the number of stitches that you'd like to work with, okay? So for the heel flap, my go-to is on 64 stitches is I make sure that there's 11 stitches on each side of the gap, and I work that way, and then I just count. I just start on either end of the needle, and then I just go in like that. I probably will do another video on that later. They'll show you how to do that as well. So you pick out the heel that you want to do. The other two heels the other heel that I love to do is, and I don't think I have it with me. Hang on one second. I did these all heel flap. That's interesting. Is a shadow wrap heel. I love that heel. It's one of my favorite. The other one that I've done is a afterthought heel, and what's the other one I've done? Afterthought heel, shadow wrap heel, I've done a fish lip kiss heel, but once I learned the shadow wrap heel, I was just hooked on that. Basically because I've memorized it so much easier, okay? So now you do your heel. You know the number of stitches that you've worked with on previous patterns. You know how to do a heel flap and a heel turn. So now you do that part of the heel, okay? And write down the steps that you've done, okay? Now we are, gotta look at my notes again. We are now into the gusset decreases, okay? And don't make it too complicated, okay? It's really, this part's really easy because you have to remember that you only do the pattern on the top of your sock, okay? So from this marker, right? From this marker to this marker, that's all that you're doing on the instep of your sock, okay? And then as you do your gusset decreases, which you're familiar with, you're just doing stockinette, right? You're not keeping in pattern on your gusset decreases. You're only keeping in pattern on the instep until, there's an until, okay? So I'm gonna show you right here. So this will make more sense, okay? So we've done all this, we've done our heel flap, heel turn, and now we're doing our gusset decreases, okay? And you can see all this is all in stockinette, okay? This is your instep, and this is what you're keeping in pattern, okay? So you're going to do that. Then you're going to get to the end of your gusset decreases, and you're going to start doing the foot of your sock. And there again, you're going to do the bottom in stockinette, and you're going to do the top in the pattern. And that's it. That's how you do the gusset decreases and the foot of your sock. In this one, let's see if I can show you in this one. Same thing with this one. Well, you can't really see it because of the helix. That's a poor example. Anyway, I just love this pattern. So yeah, so that's what's entailed in doing your gusset decreases. And then we get to the toe of the sock. Now, I have done I'd say the traditional wedged toe sock, or toe. I gotta say that again. I have done the wedge toe for this sock, the traditional, okay, which you're familiar with, you know how that works. It's, you know, slip one SSK, other side, slip one, knit two together. What you to pray for? Okay, okay, well, we are, let's see here. Okay, so we're going to continue because we're talking about knitting, sock knitting. So this is the wedged wedge toe. So, and you're familiar with that, you've done other patterns, so you just write that out in your pattern. The other one that I've also done is a star toe. I love the star toe on this pattern. This was a lot of fun, And the reason I like it is because when you go to do your Kitchener stitch, I believe I did a Kitchener stitch on the bottom of this. It looks like it. There was looks like 4 stitches left. So that was a lot of fun. I really enjoying that. And this sock yarn, oh, I love it. I bought it when I was visiting in Ottawa, Ontario, and it was called Mojito. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I bought it in the summer, a few years ago now. So anyway, so yeah. So that is the toe of the sock. So there you go. Now, I told you, I would tell you at the very end there is a companion to this video. It's a PDF, and I have it available on my website at Petal and Purl, Purl .ca. Okay, remember the .ca, it's not .com. I'm in Canada, so I'm on Vancouver Island. So yeah, you can go there. It's all nicely laid out. It's got all my branding colors, and it's got just little tidbits of what I've said in some complete sentences. And yeah, it's just a nice resource to have along with your graphing paper and your stitch dictionaries. So I've had these for a few years. I visited, I don't know if you know, in Oregon, I went to a bookstore called Powell's Books, and I bought these. These, I don't even know if they're available anymore because they were used. I bought them used when I was there by Interweave. This is lace and eyelets, and this one is knit and purl. Yeah, these are backwards because of my phone. Anyway, my husband keeps telling me I have to get this fixed. So, but in this lace one, this is really nice too. Like, you could do a double laced rib, which is a multiple of 6 plus 2, that you know. That is really pretty. I'll see if I can show that to you. So you just can't show, you know, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Wouldn't that be pretty for one of your first sock designs? So, yeah. Okay, well, I can't believe it only took me half an hour. Now we're going to go over some questions. Do you have any questions? Because that's what I'm here for. If you're here live, can you give me a thumbs up if you like this video? And, you know, subscribe to the video, because with that little notification bell, because I'm thinking I might do a continuation of this. This is very dear to my heart. I've been doing this for many years. I have a Tuesday night knit night with my Let's Knit Socks Facebook group, so make sure that you join the group, and then there's more details on the knit night that you could participate in. That's coming up to 3 years. I can't believe it. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun. So let me just see if there's more questions here. And Andrea, hi Andrea, I think it's Andrea, right? Andre. Let's see. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna I'll just wait and see if there's some more questions, but I'll just tell you a little bit more. So, I like to knit socks. I also like to knit socks with naturally dyed yarn. So, this is what all this is about. So, yeah. Okay, 1 second. This video is free, so I'm not too sure what you're mentioning. The PDF to download is free, so yeah, there's no money involved. No money involved. So anyway, so I just picked some black hollyhocks. I'm going to create a dye bath with that and create some sock yarn. And yeah, if you look over on my website, you'll see tons of blog posts of me dyeing yarn. I also spin. I like to spin fiber for sock yarn. So yeah, so that's some fleece there. Anyway, I could go down a whole other rabbit hole, but I am here to talk to you about designing your first pair of socks. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And just see if there's any more questions. I know I didn't give my viewers a lot of time to see that this was available. It's one of those things where it's like I had a pocket of time, I had the energy, and I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it and do it. And so yesterday I was making up all my notes and getting everything ready. So, okay, let me see. Okay. Okay, now I'm just going to mentally just look over my notes one more time and make sure I haven't missed anything, because I have done that before. But you know what? I think we are really, really good to go. Just remember that when you go to design your socks, to do this with the middle. This is a really good visual, because you're gonna look at this and you're gonna know, okay, Kelly, okay, well, your name's not Kelly, but you're gonna look at this and you're gonna know that that is the very top of my sock and that's in the very middle, okay? And then you're gonna know to this side, it's the very edge of the top of my sock, and then the same here. And then you're gonna know this is all on the bottom, okay? It's a really good visual. When I started designing socks, I I was doing it like a lace chart. Like I was starting here, which would have been the back leg of the sock, and I was going this way, and I was having a heck of a time. It just wasn't working for me. So I really encourage you to set up your graph this way, okay? That's any other piece of advice that I can offer you. So anyway, take care. Please share this video with your other sock knitters. I'm sure that they would like to take their knitting to the next level and start designing their own socks as well. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.